The vast emptiness of space shimmered as a massive Zarkonian warship emerged from hyperspace, its sleek, purple hull gleaming in the light of Earth's sun. On the bridge, Supreme Commander Zalthor stood with his 4 arms crossed, his compound eyes fixed on the blue-green planet before him. "So this is Earth," Zalthor mused, his mandibles clicking softly. "It seems unremarkable." His second-in-command, Sub-Commander Vexera, approached with a datapad. "Our initial scans confirm, Supreme Commander. The planet is inhabited by a species known as humans. They appear to be in the early stages of space exploration, having only recently established a permanent presence on their moon and neighboring planet." Zalthor's antenna twitched with interest. Primitive, then, but potentially useful. Open a channel to their leaders. Let us see what these humans are like. On Earth, in the United Nations headquarters in New York, an emergency session was underway. World leaders and diplomats from every nation huddled around screens, watching as the alien ship hung in orbit, an undeniable proof that humanity was not alone in the universe. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, Earth's newly appointed ambassador for extraterrestrial affairs, stood at the podium, her voice steady despite the weight of humanity's future on her shoulders. "Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to make history. The alien vessel has requested communication. We must approach this with caution, wisdom, and above all, unity." As if on cue, the screens flickered, and the imposing visage of Zalthor appeared. Gasps and murmurs rippled through the assembly. "People of Earth," Zalthor's translated voice boomed. "I am Supreme Commander Zalthor of the Zarkonian Empire. We have come to offer you a place within our glorious civilization. Submit to our rule, and you shall benefit from our advanced technology and protection." Dr. Rodriguez stepped forward, her chin held high. "Supreme Commander Zalthor, I am Dr. Elena Rodriguez, speaking on behalf of Earth. We welcome peaceful contact with other civilizations, but we are not interested in submission. We are an independent species with our own rich history and culture." Zalthor's compound eyes narrowed. "You misunderstand, human. This is not a negotiation. It is an inevitability. Resistance would be unfortunate." The transmission cut off, leaving the assembly in stunned silence. Dr. Rodriguez turned to face the world leaders. "We need to prepare for all possibilities. I suggest we activate the Omega Protocol." In a hidden facility deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, General Marcus Chen received the coded message. His weathered face set in grim determination as he turned to his team. "It's time. Activate Project Prometheus." Around the world, similar scenes played out in secret bases and laboratories. Years of preparation, hidden from the public eye, were about to bear fruit. Back on the Zarkonian ship, Zalthor reviewed the data on Earth's military capabilities. Primitive projectile weapons, rudimentary energy shielding, limited space presence, he scoffed. "This conquest will be swift." Vexera, however, seemed less certain. "Supreme Commander, if I may, our deep space probes have detected unusual energy signatures from the planet. They don't match any known human technology." Zalthor dismissed her concerns with a wave of his upper right arm. "Anomalies, nothing more. Prepare the invasion fleet. We'll give these humans one planetary rotation to reconsider their foolish stance." On Earth, Dr. Rodriguez stood in the Oval Office, briefing the President of the United States. "Mr. President, the Zarkonians are clearly not here for peaceful coexistence. We need to reveal the existence of the Global Defense Initiative and our advanced technologies." The President nodded gravely. "I've already spoken with other world leaders. We're in agreement. It's time to show these aliens that humanity is not to be trifled with." In orbit, a constellation of satellites, previously disguised as communication relays, began to transform. Solar panels retracted, revealing sleek weapon systems and advanced sensors. The International Space Station, long suspected to be more than it seemed, opened hidden compartments, deploying a shield that enveloped the entire structure. As dawn broke over the horizon, Zalthor's ultimatum expired. The Zarkonian invasion fleet descended upon Earth, expecting to face token resistance from a primitive species. Instead, they were met with a barrage of energy weapons that lit up the sky. Zelthor stared in disbelief as reports flooded in. Human fighters, far more advanced than anything their intelligence had suggested, engaged Zarkonian ships in fierce dogfights. On the ground, mechs and energy-shielded tanks emerged from hidden bunkers, their weapons tearing through the alien landing craft. Impossible. Zalthor raged. How could we have been so wrong? Vexera's voice was grim. Supreme Commander, we're detecting a massive energy buildup from the planet's surface. Before Zalthor could respond, a brilliant beam of light shot up from Earth, slicing through several Zarkonian ships. The source: a massive cannon hidden within Mount Everest itself. In the White House Situation Room, Dr. Rodriguez watched the battle unfold with a mix of pride and concern. The Zarkonians underestimated us, but this is just the beginning. We need to push them back and show them that humanity is a force to be reckoned with. General Chen's voice crackled over the comm. Ambassador, Project Prometheus is ready. On your word, we'll take the fight to them. Dr. Rodriguez took a deep breath, the weight of her next words heavy on her shoulders. Initiate Project Prometheus. Let's show the galaxy what humanity is truly capable of. As the order was given, hidden launch facilities around the world roared to life. Sleek, advanced spacecraft, the product of decades of secret development, rose into the sky. At their head, the flagship Humanity's Hope led the charge, its experimental faster-than-light drive powering up. On board the Zarkonian command ship, alarms blared as sensors detected the approaching human fleet. Zalthor, his earlier confidence shattered, realized the grave error he had made in underestimating this species. All ships, fall back, he ordered. We need to regroup and reassess. But it was too late. The human fleet, led by General Chen aboard Humanity's Hope, engaged the Zarkonians in Earth's orbit. Advanced energy weapons and impossibly agile fighters overwhelmed the alien forces. Dr. Rodriguez watched from Earth as humanity's secret arsenal turned the tide of battle. She knew that this was only the beginning of a long struggle, but for the first time since the Zarkonians arrived, she felt hope. As the first part of the battle for Earth drew to a close, with the Zarkonians in retreat and humanity standing tall, the galaxy watched in awe. The species that had been dismissed as primitive had revealed itself to be a technological powerhouse, united in the face of an overwhelming threat. The message was clear. Humanity would not go quietly into the night. They would fight, they would persevere, and they would show the universe that the human spirit was a force unlike any other. As the Zarkonian fleet limped away from Earth, Zalthor stared at the planet that had defied all expectations. He realized that the Zarkonian Empire had awakened a sleeping giant, and in doing so, had changed the course of galactic history forever. The battle was over, but the war for humanity's place in the cosmos had only just begun. In the aftermath of humanity's unexpected victory, Earth buzzed with a mixture of celebration and trepidation. The initial Zarkonian assault had been repelled, but everyone knew this was only the beginning of a greater conflict. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood before the United Nations General Assembly, her face etched with determination. Ladies and gentlemen, we have won the first battle, but the war is far from over. The Zarkonians will return, and we must be ready. On cue, holographic displays flickered to life, showcasing the full extent of Earth's hidden technological marvels. Gasps and murmurs rippled through the assembly as they witnessed the fruits of decades of secret global cooperation. Project Prometheus, Dr. Rodriguez continued, encompasses not just our advanced spacecraft, but a complete overhaul of our defensive and offensive capabilities. From nanotech-enhanced soldiers to AI-driven battle strategies, we have prepared for this moment for years. In orbit, aboard the flagship Humanity's Hope, General Marcus Chen oversaw the deployment of a new defensive grid. Sleek satellites, bristling with energy weapons and shield generators, took up strategic positions around the planet. Status report, Chen barked, his eyes scanning multiple holographic displays. Lieutenant Sarah Wong, his second-in-command, responded crisply. The Aegis network is at 80% capacity, sir. We'll have full coverage within the hour. The Luna base has also reported in. They're fully operational and ready to serve as our fallback point if needed. Chen nodded, a grim smile on his face. Good. We caught them by surprise once. We won't have that advantage again. Meanwhile, deep in the Colorado Rockies, Dr. Aiden Takahashi put the finishing touches on humanity's latest weapon. The quantum entanglement communicator in front of him crackled to life, displaying Dr. Rodriguez's face. Dr. Takahashi, please tell me you have good news, she said, the weight of her responsibility evident in her voice. Aiden's eyes sparkled with excitement despite the grave situation. Better than good, Elena. The gravity manipulation device is ready for field testing. If it works as intended, we'll be able to create localized singularities. Imagine being able to tear apart enemy ships with miniature black holes. Elena's expression was a mix of awe and concern. That's incredible, Aiden. And terrifying. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. As Earth prepared for the next confrontation, the Zarkonian fleet regrouped at their nearest outpost, a massive space station orbiting a gas giant in a neighboring star system. Supreme Commander Zalthor, his pride wounded but his resolve hardened, addressed his war council. Our initial assessment of the humans was gravely mistaken, he admitted, his mandibles clicking in agitation. They possess technology far beyond what we anticipated. But make no mistake, the Zarkonian Empire has conquered countless worlds. We will not be deterred by one setback. Sub-Commander Vexera stepped forward, her compound eyes reflecting the holographic display of Earth. Supreme Commander, I've analyzed the data from our retreat. The humans' technological leap is unprecedented. We must consider the possibility that they've had assistance. Zalthor's antenna twitched irritably. Assistance? From whom? No other species in this sector possesses such capabilities. Perhaps, Vexera suggested cautiously, we should consider diplomatic options. These humans have proven themselves formidable. They could be valuable allies rather than conquered subjects. The chamber fell silent, all eyes on Zalthor. For a moment, it seemed he might consider the idea. Then, with a snarl, he slammed all four of his fists onto the holographic table. Absolutely not, he roared. We are the Zarkonian Empire. We do not negotiate with lesser species. Prepare the world breaker. We'll give these humans one last chance to submit, or we'll reduce their planet to ash. Back on Earth, in the White House Situation Room, President Amelia Carter received the transmission. The holographic image of Zalthor loomed large, his voice filled with barely contained rage. Humans, he spat, you have defied the will of the Zarkonian Empire. Your resistance, while impressive, is ultimately futile. You have one Earth rotation to surrender unconditionally. Refuse, and we will unleash a weapon that will tear your world apart. The choice is yours. As the transmission cut off, President Carter turned to Dr. Rodriguez and General Chen. Options. Dr. Rodriguez spoke first, her voice steady. We've detected a massive energy buildup in the Zarkonian fleet. They appear to be consolidating their ships into some kind of superstructure. Whatever this world breaker is, it's big. General Chen's face was grim. Madam President, I recommend we strike first. We have the element of surprise. They don't know the full extent of our capabilities. President Carter nodded slowly. And if we can't stop this world breaker? Then, Dr. Rodriguez said softly, we activate the Exodus Protocol. The room fell silent. The Exodus Protocol was the last resort, a plan to evacuate as much of Earth's population as possible using the secret fleet of colony ships hidden in underground bases around the world. President Carter took a deep breath, the weight of humanity's future heavy on her shoulders. Very well. General Chen, you have authorization to launch a preemptive strike. Dr. Rodriguez, begin preparations for exodus, but keep it quiet. We don't want to cause a panic. As the orders went out, humanity's hidden arsenal sprang into action. In orbit, the Aegis network powered up, creating a shimmering energy shield around the planet. On the far side of the moon, massive rail guns emerged from hidden bunkers, their barrels aimed at the approaching Zarkonian fleet. Aboard humanity's Hope, General Chen addressed the combined Earth fleet. Men and women of Earth, the moment we've prepared for is upon us. The enemy thinks they have us cornered, but they've underestimated us before, and they're about to do it again. Today, we fight not just for our world, but for our very existence as a species. Remember your training, trust in your technology, and most importantly, believe in each other. Humanity has faced extinction before, and we've always prevailed. We will do so again. A cheer went up across the comm channels as fighters launched from carriers and capital ships moved into formation. The fleet accelerated, pushing out past the orbit of Mars to meet the Zarkonian threat head-on. As they approached the enemy fleet, the true scale of the world-breaker became apparent. Dozens of Zarkonian ships had combined into a massive, bristling superstructure that dwarfed even the largest human vessels. Lieutenant Wang's voice was tense as she reported, "Sir, we're detecting an enormous energy buildup in the world-breaker. Whatever it's planning to do, it's charging up now." General Chen's eyes narrowed. "We can't let that thing fire. All ships, concentrate fire on the central hub. Activate the gravity manipulation device." Dr. Takahashi's voice came over the comm. "General, the device is untested in combat conditions. The consequences could be unpredictable." "We're out of options, Doctor," Chen replied grimly. "It's now or never." As the human fleet engaged the Zarkonian forces, a beam of concentrated gravitational energy shot out from humanity's Hope, striking the world-breaker. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, with a visual distortion that hurt the eyes to look at, space itself began to warp around the massive weapon. Zal Thor, watching from the command center of the world-breaker, felt a sense of unease for the first time since the conflict began. "What are they doing?" "Report." Vexera's voice was filled with disbelief. "Supreme Commander, they're creating a localized gravity well. The structural integrity of the world-breaker is compromised." Before Zalthor could respond, a series of explosions rocked the superstructure. Human ships darted in and out of the Zarkonian formation, their advanced weaponry tearing through alien defenses with surgical precision. On Earth, in hidden bunkers and command centers, humanity watched the battle unfold with bated breath. Dr. Rodriguez stood in the control room of the Cheyenne Mountain complex, surrounded by banks of quantum computers running combat simulations and threat assessments. "The gravity device is working," she breathed, watching the holographic display of the battle. "But the power requirements are immense. We can't keep it up for long." President Carter's voice came over the secure channel. "Dr. Rodriguez, we're detecting multiple planetfall attempts by Zarkonian forces. They're trying to establish a beachhead while we're distracted in orbit." Elena's mind raced. "Activate the Gaia protocol. Let's show them why it's a bad idea to set foot on our planet uninvited." Around the world, hidden defense systems came to life. In the Amazon rainforest, ancient trees shimmered and transformed into camouflaged weapon platforms. Beneath the Sahara, the sands shifted to reveal massive underground hangars housing swarms of combat drones. As Zarkonian dropships entered the atmosphere, they were met with a defense grid unlike anything they had ever encountered. Sentient storms, guided by advanced weather control satellites, tore alien craft from the sky. Where they managed to land, they found the very earth beneath their feet rising up against them, as nanite-infused soil formed itself into lethal geometric shapes. In orbit, the battle reached its climax. The world-breaker, its structure compromised by the gravitational assault, began to break apart. Zalthor, his voice filled with disbelief and rage, issued one final command. All ships, disengage. Retreat to Rally Point Omega. This isn't over, humans. We will return, and when we do, we will scour your world clean of life." As the Zarkonian fleet fled, leaving the shattered remains of the Worldbreaker behind, a cheer went up across human channels. They had done it. They had faced the full might of an interstellar empire and emerged victorious. But even as celebration broke out across the globe, the leaders of humanity knew that this was only the beginning. The Zarkonians would return, possibly with reinforcements. And now, the wider galaxy would know of Earth's existence and its unexpected strength. In the White House Situation Room, President Carter addressed her advisors. "We've won a great victory today, but our work is far from over. We've revealed ourselves to the cosmos, and we need to be ready for whatever comes next." Dr. Rodriguez nodded, her expression serious. "Agreed, Madam President. I suggest we accelerate the Icarus Initiative. It's time we took our place among the stars." As the sun set on a day that would be forever remembered in human history, the people of Earth looked to the sky with a mixture of pride, determination, and wonder. They had faced their first extraterrestrial threat and emerged stronger for it. The message to the galaxy was clear. Humanity was here, humanity was strong, and humanity was ready to claim its place in the cosmic order. In the weeks following humanity's victory over the Zarkonian Empire, Earth buzzed with a new energy. The revelation of advanced technology and the reality of extraterrestrial threats had united the planet in a way never before seen in human history. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood before a holographic display in the newly established Terran Defense Headquarters, buried deep beneath the Himalayas. The room was filled with military leaders and scientific minds from every nation, all working together towards a common goal. "The Icarus Initiative is proceeding ahead of schedule," Elena announced, her voice filled with barely contained excitement. "Thanks to the data we gathered from the Zarkonian Worldbreaker, we've made significant advancements in our faster-than-light drive technology." General Chen, his uniform now adorned with additional stars, leaned forward. "How soon can we begin deep space exploration?" A holographic image of a sleek spacecraft appeared above the central table. Dr. Aiden Takahashi's voice came through the comm system, tinged with pride. "The TSV Prometheus will be ready for its maiden voyage within the month. It's the most advanced ship we've ever built, capable of sustained faster-than-light travel and equipped with our latest defensive and offensive systems." President Carter, joining the meeting via secure quantum link, nodded approvingly. "Excellent work, everyone. But we must remember, our victory has put us on the galactic map. We need to be prepared for whatever comes next." As if on cue, alarms blared throughout the facility. Lieutenant Wong's voice cut through the sudden tension. "We're detecting multiple unknown vessels entering the solar system. They're not Zarkonian." The room erupted into a flurry of activity. General Chen barked orders to bring the Aegis network to full alert, while Dr. Rodriguez rapidly analyzed the incoming data. "Wait," she called out, her eyes wide. "They're broadcasting on all frequencies. I think it's a first contact package." The tension in the room shifted from fear to cautious curiosity. President Carter's holographic image straightened, her expression resolute. "Open a channel. Let's see who our new visitors are." The main screen flickered to life, revealing a sight that took everyone's breath away. The alien before them was unlike anything they had ever seen. A being of swirling energy contained within a translucent, vaguely humanoid form. "People of Earth," the being spoke, its voice resonating directly in their minds. "I am Ambassador Zix of the Galactic Confederation. We have come in peace, seeking dialogue." Dr. Rodriguez stepped forward, her diplomatic training kicking in despite her awe. "Ambassador Zix, I am Dr. Elena Rodriguez, speaking on behalf of Earth. We welcome peaceful contact. May I ask what brings the Galactic Confederation to our world?" The energy being seemed to pulse with something akin to amusement. "Your recent conflict with the Zarkonian Empire has not gone unnoticed," Dr. Rodriguez. It is rare for a nascent species to repel such an invasion. The Confederation is curious about humanity's rapid technological advancement. General Chen tensed, his hand instinctively moving towards his sidearm. Are you implying that we had outside help, Ambassador? Zix's form shimmered, a gesture that might have been the equivalent of shaking one's head. Not at all, General. In fact, it is precisely the lack of external assistance that makes your achievements so remarkable. The Confederation has long had a policy of non-interference with developing worlds. Your victory over the Zarkonians was entirely your own. President Carter's hologram stepped forward. Ambassador Zix, while we appreciate your interest, I must ask, what are the Confederation's intentions towards Earth? The energy being's form pulsed with warm colors. Madam President, the Galactic Confederation is an alliance of spacefaring civilizations dedicated to mutual defense, cultural exchange, and scientific advancement. We have come to offer humanity a choice: isolation or integration. A murmur ran through the assembled leaders. Dr. Rodriguez leaned in, her curiosity piqued. What exactly do you mean by integration, Ambassador? Simply put, Zix explained, we offer humanity the opportunity to join the Galactic Confederation as a probationary member. You would gain access to our knowledge bases, trading networks, and defensive pacts. In return, you would agree to abide by Confederation law and contribute to our shared goals. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity, in the span of a few short months, had gone from believing they were alone in the universe to being offered a seat at the table of a galactic civilization. President Carter was the first to break the silence. This is a decision that will affect the entire human race, Ambassador. We'll need time to discuss and consider your offer. Zix's form pulsed in understanding. Of course, we will remain in orbit and await your decision. Take the time you need, but be aware, the galaxy is a vast and sometimes dangerous place. The choice you make today will shape humanity's future among the stars. As the transmission ended, the room erupted into heated discussion. General Chen argued for caution, warning of the potential threats that came with exposing Earth to the wider galaxy. Dr. Takahashi, on the other hand, was almost giddy at the prospect of accessing advanced alien scientific knowledge. Dr. Rodriguez found herself torn. The diplomat in her saw the immense potential for growth and protection that came with joining a galactic community. But the human in her worried about the loss of autonomy, the potential for Earth to become a small fish in a very, very large pond. Enough. President Carter's voice cut through the debate. We need to approach this methodically. Dr. Rodriguez, I want you to lead a team to review the information package the Confederation sent. General Chen, assess the strategic implications of both joining and refusing. Dr. Takahashi, analyze the technological aspects. We'll reconvene in 24 hours to make our decision. As the meeting adjourned, Alina found herself walking alongside Aiden Takahashi towards the research labs. The scientist's eyes were bright with excitement. Can you imagine, Alina? He gushed. The scientific advancements we could make with access to the Confederation's knowledge. We could solve global warming, cure diseases, maybe even crack the secret to immortality. Alina smiled at his enthusiasm but couldn't shake her concerns. It sounds wonderful, Aiden, but at what cost? We've only just proven ourselves on the galactic stage. Are we ready to potentially become a minor player in a vast interstellar politics? Before Aiden could respond, they were interrupted by the arrival of General Chen. The military leader's face was grim. Doctor, a word. As Aiden excused himself, Chen led Elena to a secure room. Once inside, he activated a quantum encryption field. What I'm about to tell you doesn't leave this room. Our long-range sensors have picked up Zarkonian fleet movements. They're gathering a force unlike anything we've ever seen. I think they're preparing for a full-scale invasion. Elena's blood ran cold. How long do we have? Months, maybe a year at most, Chen replied. We've made incredible strides, but against a force that size, I'm not sure we can win this one alone. The implication hung heavy in the air. Joining the Confederation could provide Earth with the allies and resources needed to survive the coming storm. But it would also irrevocably change the course of human history. As Elena left the secure room, her mind raced. The fate of humanity now rested on a knife's edge, with forces both within and beyond their solar system poised to shape their destiny. In the following hours, Earth's leaders engaged in intense discussions and debates. The United Nations convened an emergency session, with representatives from every nation weighing in on the monumental decision before them. Dr. Rodriguez found herself at the center of it all, synthesizing reports, answering questions, and trying to paint a clear picture of what joining the Galactic Confederation would mean for humanity. As the 24-hour deadline approached, President Carter called for a final meeting of her core advisory team. The atmosphere in the room was tense as each member presented their findings. Dr. Takahashi went first, his holographic display showcasing the potential technological leaps. "The scientific benefits are staggering," he explained. "Their database alone could advance our understanding of the universe by centuries. The medical applications alone could eliminate most diseases and extend human lifespans significantly." General Chen followed, his expression grave. "From a military standpoint, the Confederation's defensive capabilities far exceed our own. Their protection would be invaluable, especially given the Zirconian threat. However," he added, his eyes narrowing, "we would be required to integrate our forces into their command structure. We lose a degree of autonomy." Finally, it was Dr. Rodriguez's turn. She took a deep breath before beginning. "The cultural and societal implications of joining the Confederation are profound. We'd be exposed to a multitude of alien civilizations, each with their own customs, beliefs, and technologies. It would fundamentally change what it means to be human." She paused, looking around the room. "But it would also give us a voice on the galactic stage. We'd have the opportunity to shape interstellar policy, to be part of something greater than ourselves. Yes, we'd be a small player at first, but we'd have the chance to grow, to learn, to become more than we ever could on our own." President Carter listened intently, her face a mask of concentration. When all had spoken, she stood, her decision made. "Throughout our history," she began, "humanity has faced moments of great change and challenge. We've always met them head-on, driven by our curiosity, our adaptability, and our unwavering spirit. This moment, perhaps the most significant in our species' history, calls for nothing less." She straightened, her voice gaining strength. "We will accept the Galactic Confederation's offer, but we will do so on our terms. Dr. Rodriguez, I want you to draft a conditional acceptance. We'll join as probationary members, but we retain the right to withdraw if we find the arrangement unsatisfactory. We'll integrate, but not at the cost of our identity, our values, or our independence." The room buzzed with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. As the others filed out to begin preparations, President Carter held Elena back. "Dr. Rodriguez," she said softly, "I'm appointing you as Earth's official ambassador to the Galactic Confederation. You'll be our voice out there. Remember who we are, where we came from. Guide us wisely into this new frontier." Elena nodded, the weight of her new responsibility settling on her shoulders. As she left to prepare for the most important diplomatic meeting in human history, she couldn't help but smile. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe, and she would be there to help shape their path among the stars. In orbit, aboard the Confederation diplomatic vessel, Ambassador Zix awaited Earth's decision. As the transmission from the planet began, the energy being pulsed with anticipation. Whatever humanity decided, the galaxy was about to change. The age of Earth's isolation was over. A new chapter in cosmic history was about to begin. The sleek form of the TSV Prometheus glided through the star-studded void, its advanced engines humming with barely contained power. On the bridge, Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood beside Captain Yuki Tanaka, both women gazing at the swirling, iridescent form of the massive space station that served as the headquarters of the Galactic Confederation. Nexus Prime, Captain Tanaka breathed, her usually stoic demeanor cracking with awe. I've seen the holo-projections, but they don't do it justice. Elena nodded, her heart racing with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. It's beautiful, she agreed, and intimidating. Hard to believe that in a few hours, we'll be presenting Earth's case before the Confederation Council. The comm system chimed, and Lieutenant Commander Zara Okoid's voice filled the bridge. Ambassador, we're receiving docking instructions from Nexus Prime Control. They're also requesting that we power down our shields and weapons systems. Captain Tanaka's eyes narrowed. Standard procedure. Elena consulted her datapad, quickly scanning through the briefing materials provided by the Confederation. Yes, it appears so. A sign of trust and peaceful intentions. She paused, then added with a wry smile, though I suspect they have more than enough firepower to deal with us if we tried anything foolish. As the Prometheus approached its designated docking bay, Elena couldn't help but reflect on the whirlwind of events that had led to this moment. Earth's conditional acceptance of Confederation membership had set off a frenzy of activity. Diplomatic teams had worked around the clock to draft agreements, scientific exchanges had begun, and the first wave of cultural interactions had sent shockwaves through human society. Not everyone on Earth had been happy with the decision. Protests had erupted in several major cities, with some fearing the loss of human independence or the dilution of Earth culture. Others had embraced the change wholeheartedly, eager to explore the cosmos and learn from alien civilizations. The gentle thud of docking clamps engaging snapped Elena back to the present. She took a deep breath, straightening her specially designed ambassadorial uniform. Well, Captain, she said, shall we make history? As they disembarked, Elena and her team were greeted by a delegation of Confederation representatives. The diversity of alien life forms was staggering, from crystalline beings that seemed to phase in and out of reality to massive tentacled creatures that communicated through bioluminescent patterns. At the head of the delegation stood Ambassador Zix, their energy form pulsing with warm, welcoming colors. Dr. Rodriguez, Zix's mental voice resonated. Welcome to Nexus Prime. The Council awaits your presentation. As they made their way through the sprawling station, Elena marveled at the seamless integration of countless alien technologies and architectural styles. Gravity shifted subtly as they moved between sections designed for different species' comfort, and holographic interfaces flickered to life, adapting to each individual's preferred method of interaction. Finally, as the Zarkonian offensive entered its final preparatory stages, the Joint Task Force made its move. Led by the newly christened CSS Unity, a massive dreadnought that combined the best of Confederation and Earth technology, the Armada struck at the heart of Zarkonian space. The battle that followed would be remembered for generations as one of the largest and most decisive conflicts in galactic history. The Zarkonians fought with all their usual ferocity, but they were unprepared for the combined might and innovative tactics of the Confederation Earth Alliance. Elena watched from the bridge of the Unity as the tide of battle turned. Quantum-entangled missiles phased through Zarkonian shields, while Earth's AI-driven combat systems outmaneuvered the enemy at every turn. It was a testament to what could be achieved when diverse civilizations united towards a common goal. As the last Zarkonian dreadnought fell silent, a cheer went up across the fleet. The threat had been neutralized, and a new era of galactic peace seemed possible. In the aftermath of the victory, Elena found herself once again standing before the Confederation Council. But this time, she stood not as a petitioner or probationary member, but as the representative of a full and equal partner in the galactic community. Today, we have proven that the stars themselves are not the limit of what we can achieve when we stand together. Elena addressed the assembly, her voice filled with pride and hope. Earth is honored to take its place among you as full members of the Confederation. We bring with us our dreams, our determination, and our unwavering commitment to a brighter future for all sentient beings. As applause filled the chamber, Elena allowed herself a small smile. The journey that had begun with a desperate battle against an alien invasion had led humanity to its rightful place among the stars. There would be challenges ahead, new threats to face and wonders to explore. But Earth would face them not alone, but as part of a greater galactic family. The age of Earth's cosmic isolation was over. A new dawn had broken for humanity, and the entire universe lay open before them, filled with infinite possibilities. Elena held her breath, acutely aware that this moment would shape the future of humanity for generations to come. By majority vote, Lumina continued, the Council has decided to accept Earth's petition, with conditions. A wave of relief washed over Elena, but she maintained her composure, knowing the devil would be in the details. Lumina outlined the conditions. Earth would be granted probationary membership for a period of 50 standard galactic years. During this time, they would have limited voting rights in the Council and restricted access to certain advanced technologies. Earth would be required to meet specific milestones in areas such as environmental restoration, peaceful conflict resolution, and scientific ethics. Furthermore, Lumina added, given the recent Zarkonian aggression, the Confederation will establish a defensive presence in your solar system. This is as much for your protection as it is to monitor your adherence to Confederation laws and principles. Elena's mind raced, analyzing the implications of each condition. It wasn't everything they had hoped for, but it was a start, a foot in the door of galactic civilization. The Council awaits your response, Ambassador, Lumina prompted. Elena straightened, her voice clear and confident. On behalf of Earth and humanity, we accept these conditions and thank the Galactic Confederation for this opportunity. We look forward to proving ourselves worthy of full membership and to contributing to the greater galactic community. A chorus of approving sounds echoed through the chamber. Lumina's form brightened. Then let it be recorded. Earth is now a probationary member of the Galactic Confederation. May this mark the beginning of a long and fruitful relationship between our civilizations. As the session concluded, Elena found herself surrounded by alien diplomats, all eager to establish initial contacts with Earth's representative. It was overwhelming, exhilarating, and more than a little terrifying. Amidst the chaos, she felt a familiar mental touch. Ambassador Zix approached, their energy form pulsing with what Elena had come to recognize as approval. Congratulations, Ambassador Rodriguez, Zix communicated. You've taken your first steps into a larger universe. But be warned, the real challenges are only beginning. Elena nodded, understanding the weight of Zix's words. We're ready for those challenges, Ambassador. Humanity has never shied away from adversity. As they made their way back to the Prometheus, Elena's mind was already racing with the tasks ahead. She would need to report back to Earth, begin the process of integrating Confederation laws and guidelines, and prepare for the arrival of the defensive fleet in their solar system. But underlying all of these practical concerns was a sense of profound wonder and excitement. Humanity was no longer alone in the cosmos. They were part of something greater, with the potential to shape the very future of the galaxy. As the Prometheus disengaged from Nexus Prime and set a course for Earth, Elena stood on the observation deck, gazing out at the star-studded expanse. Somewhere out there, the Zarkonians were plotting their revenge. Countless other alien civilizations were going about their daily lives, oblivious to the small blue planet that had just joined their galactic community. And on Earth itself, billions of humans were about to receive news that would forever change their understanding of their place in the universe. Elena smiled to herself. The journey ahead would be challenging, filled with diplomatic minefields, cultural shocks, and potentially existential threats. But it would also be a journey of discovery, of growth, and of unlimited potential. As humanity's first ambassador to the stars, Elena Rodriguez was ready to lead her species into this brave new cosmic frontier. The age of Earth's cosmic diplomacy had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same. 5 years had passed since Earth's admission into the Galactic Confederation as a probationary member. The solar system buzzed with activity as humanity embraced its new role in the cosmic community. Massive space stations orbited Earth, serving as cultural exchange hubs and centers for collaborative research. The moon had been transformed into a thriving colony, its domed cities gleaming beneath the stars. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood in her office aboard the newly constructed Terran embassy on Nexus Prime, gazing out at the swirling cosmic vista beyond. The past 5 years had been a whirlwind of diplomacy, cultural exchange, and rapid advancement. Earth had made significant strides in meeting the Confederation's milestones, but challenges remained. A gentle chime announced the arrival of her AI assistant, HFY, Advanced Relational Intelligence Assistant. The holographic figure materialized, its form a blend of various Earth cultures and alien influences. Ambassador, HFY's melodious voice filled the room. I have the latest reports from Earth and the Confederation Council. Elena nodded, turning from the window. Go ahead, HFY. What's the latest? Earth's environmental restoration efforts continue to exceed expectations. The Great Pacific Cleanup is 73% complete, and biodiversity indices are showing marked improvement globally. A smile tugged at Elena's lips. It was gratifying to see humanity channeling its newfound knowledge and resources into healing their home world. HFY continued. However, there are concerns about the pace of technological integration. Some council members feel that certain Earth factions are advancing too quickly, potentially destabilizing the careful balance of power within the Confederation. Elena's brow furrowed. This was an ongoing point of contention. Earth's innovative spirit and rapid adaptation to alien technologies had taken many in the Confederation by surprise. While some saw it as a valuable asset, others viewed it with suspicion. What about the Zarkonian situation? Elena asked, her voice tense. HFY's form flickered slightly, a sign of processing complex data. Confederation intelligence suggests that the Zarkonian Empire is rebuilding its forces. While they haven't made any overt moves against Earth, there are indications of increased military activity along their borders. Elena sighed, the weight of her responsibility settling heavily on her shoulders. The Zarkonian threat had been a constant shadow over Earth's integration into the galactic community. Despite the Confederation's defensive presence in the solar system, the fear of another invasion loomed large in the minds of many humans. A sudden alert from HFY interrupted her thoughts. Ambassador, priority communication from Earth. It's General Chen. Elena straightened, her diplomatic mask sliding into place. Put him through, HFY. The holographic image of General Marcus Chen materialized in the center of the room. His face was grim, lines of worry etched deeply around his eyes. Ambassador Rodriguez, he began without preamble. We have a situation. One of our deep space outposts has gone dark. Initial scans suggest Zarkonian energy signatures in the vicinity. Elena's heart raced, but her voice remained steady. Have you informed the Confederation? Chen nodded. Yes, but their response was less than satisfactory. They've advised caution and suggested we wait for more concrete evidence before taking action. Damn, Elena muttered. She understood the Confederation's position. They couldn't risk a galaxy-wide conflict based on circumstantial evidence. But if the Zarkonians were indeed making a move, every moment counted. What are our options, General? She asked. Chen's holographic form shifted, bringing up a tactical display. We've been working on something, Ambassador. A joint project with some of the more progressive elements within the Confederation. It's called Project Sentinel. The display showed a sleek spacecraft unlike anything Elena had seen before. It seemed to blend the best of human innovation with advanced alien technology. Project Sentinel is a deep space reconnaissance vessel, Chen explained. Stealth capabilities beyond anything the Zarkonians can detect, and an AI core that can process and analyze data faster than any organic crew. If we deploy Sentinel, we can get hard evidence of Zarkonian activity without risking an international incident. Elena studied the schematics, her mind racing through diplomatic protocols and potential consequences. This wasn't approved by the full Confederation Council, was it? She asked, already knowing the answer. Chen's expression was unapologetic. No, it wasn't. But we have allies within the Confederation who understand the threat the Zarkonians pose. They've been helping us. Off the books. Alina closed her eyes, weighing the decision before her. Deploying Sentinel without full Confederation approval could jeopardize Earth's probationary status. But if the Zarkonians were indeed preparing for another attack, the consequences of inaction could be catastrophic. Do it, she said finally, opening her eyes to meet Chen's gaze. But keep it quiet. I'll work on preparing the diplomatic ground here in case things go sideways. Chen nodded, relief evident in his posture. Understood, Ambassador. Sentinel launches in 6 hours. I'll keep you updated. As the general's hologram faded, Alina turned to Araya. I need you to compile everything we have on Confederation protocols regarding preemptive military action, and get me a secure line to Ambassador Zix. We're going to need allies if this goes bad. The next 48 hours were a blur of tense waiting and feverish preparation. Alina worked tirelessly, leveraging every diplomatic connection she had made over the past 5 years. She didn't reveal the existence of Sentinel, but she made sure key players within the Confederation understood the potential Zarkonian threat. Finally, as Elena was in the middle of a delicate negotiation with a representative of the Andromedans, Araya interrupted with high-priority news. Ambassador, Sentinel has returned. General Chen is requesting an immediate conference. Elena quickly excused herself from the meeting and rushed to her secure communications room. The holographic forms of General Chen and Dr. Aiden Takahashi materialized before her. Report, she said without preamble. Aiden spoke first, his usual excitement tempered by the gravity of the situation. Elena, Sentinel's data is, well, it's worse than we feared. The Zarkonians haven't just been rebuilding. They've been innovating. They've developed some kind of quantum entanglement drive that could allow them to bypass our early warning systems entirely. Chen picked up the thread. We've detected a massive buildup of forces along the edge of Zarkonian space. Intelligence analysis suggests they're preparing for a major offensive, and Earth is almost certainly their primary target. Elena's mind raced, processing the implications. How long do we have? Based on Sentinel's data, we estimate 2 to 3 months before they're ready to launch, Chen replied grimly. Elena took a deep breath, squaring her shoulders. All right, here's what we're going to do. General, I need a full report, sanitized of any reference to Sentinel. Dr. Takahashi, prepare a technical briefing on the Zarkonian quantum drive. Focus on the threat it poses to Confederation security as a whole, not just Earth. She paused, her expression hardening with determination. I'm going to call an emergency session of the Confederation Council. It's time to lay all our cards on the table. The next few hours were a whirlwind of activity. Elena worked with Araya to prepare her presentation, carefully crafting an argument that would convince the Council of the urgent need for action without revealing the full extent of Earth's covert operations. As she stood before the assembled Council, Elena felt the weight of not just Earth, but potentially the entire Confederation resting on her shoulders. Esteemed members of the Council, she began, her voice steady and clear. I come before you today with grave news. We have incontrovertible evidence that the Zarkonian Empire is preparing for a major military offensive, one that threatens not just Earth, but the stability of the entire Confederation. Murmurs rippled through the assembly as Elena laid out the evidence, carefully omitting any mention of Project Sentinel. She presented Dr. Takahashi's analysis of the quantum entanglement drive, emphasizing the threat it posed to all Confederation worlds. The time for half measures and cautious diplomacy has passed, Elena concluded, her voice rising with passion. We must act now, decisively and united, to meet this threat head-on. Earth stands ready to commit all its resources to this fight, but we cannot do it alone. We call upon the Confederation to honor its defensive pacts and stand with us against this aggression. The council chamber erupted into heated debate. Some representatives argued for immediate military action, while others urged caution and further diplomacy. Through it all, Elena stood firm, addressing concerns and rallying support. After hours of intense discussion, Lumina called for a vote. Elena held her breath as the results were tallied. "The council has reached a decision," Lumina announced, their luminous form pulsing with solemn energy. "By majority vote, we hereby authorize a joint Confederation Earth task force to address the Zarkonian threat. Furthermore, in light of Earth's vital role in uncovering this threat and their commitment to Confederation principles, we are granting Earth full member status, effective immediately." A wave of relief washed over Elena, followed quickly by a surge of determination. They had won the diplomatic battle, but the real fight was just beginning. In the weeks that followed, the solar system became a hive of activity. Ships from across the Confederation arrived, joining with Earth's fleet to form the largest armada ever assembled. The quantum entanglement drive was rapidly reverse-engineered and incorporated into key vessels, thanks to the combined efforts of human and alien scientists. Elena found herself at the heart of it all, coordinating between Earth's leaders, Confederation allies, and military strategists. It was exhausting, exhilarating work, but she was driven by the knowledge that the fate of not just humanity, but perhaps the entire galaxy, hung in the balance.